Hello everyone, it's Alia or Cake Legend, and today's video is going to be all about Valentine's Day at our little cupcake shop called HappyCakes. Valentine's Day is one of the busiest days of the year, so let's jump right into it. So I arrived at the bakery around 6:40 in the morning, even though my shift started at 9 because I wanted to film everything that Rachel was doing since we had a lot of cupcakes to get through for Valentine's Day. Rachel is the lovely owner of HappyCakes, and as you can see, she only arrived 10 minutes before me, but she was already making cupcakes right away. Hades bakes all of the cakes and cupcakes and was in way earlier than both of us so that they could have all of these ready for Rachel to decorate when she got in. Cause Rachel is insanely fast. Like, I filmed these 2 clips for like 10 seconds and when I turned back around, she already had this whole tray iced. Her speed is literally insane, but it's so satisfying to watch. All of these cupcakes were for a special pre-order we had set up for Valentine's Day. We had spread out the pickups over 4 days, and for today, we needed 45 boxes ready for pickup by 12, so these were our top priority. If you guys want to see a more detailed video on the Valentine's pre-order specifically, you can head over to Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, where Ashley has a video up that goes more in depth on how we made so many of these, and she goes more into the business side of things, so be sure to check that out. The link to her video will be in the description below. And make sure you subscribe while you're there because her videos are pretty awesome. So Rachel was just making these Valentine's cupcakes while watching The Office, as always, and meanwhile Hades was baking up a storm in the other room. We needed 270 cupcakes for the Valentine's pre-order, but there was still the regular orders and the showcase to fill up in the front. Plus, we needed backstock since Valentine's Day is the busiest day of the year. All of the cupcakes are scooped by hand, as you can see here, and this is literally the most satisfying thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I could watch this all day. And Hades wasn't only baking cupcakes, they were also making cakes for the orders we had and to-go cakes for the walk-ins. I decorated all the cakes after I clocked in, which you will see later. But for now, I want to talk a little bit about me and how I got into the world of baking. So, it all started once upon a time when my mom became best friends with a girl in high school. This girl had an older sister named Eva, and one day Eva had a daughter named Rachel. Then, 10 years later, my mom had me. Fast forward a few years and Rachel is 23 years old working at this bakery called HappyCakes when one day she finds out that the owner is going to be selling it. So Rachel says, "I'll buy it," and then bought the bakery on April 1st of 2017. My mom saw this on Facebook and was like, "OMG, you should volunteer," since I really enjoyed baking as well. But I always liked it just as a hobby. I never considered doing it as a career. Until I started volunteering in the bakery in August of 2017 and was like, oh my god, this is so cool. So then for 6 months, I would come in once a week, sometimes just for 2 hours, and I would help out in the bakery. One of the first things Rachel showed me was how to make these ice cream cone cake pops, and that kind of became my thing. I did it every week when I was there. I'd put them out in the front when I was done, and then they'd slowly sell throughout the week. I was having the time of my life. Even some days I would come in and just fold boxes for 2 hours, or sometimes just refill sprinkle containers and stuff. But just seeing the way that the little business ran and watching all the cakes being made and all the cupcakes, it was just so fascinating to me, and I fell in love. During this time, I also started to practice making cakes at home, and one day got my first cake order, which was from a friend of my parents, and she wanted a custom Oilers themed birthday cake. I was so terrified, but I made the cake. I made a practice one before the actual order, and it turned out really well. After that, I started to get more cake orders from more friends or coworkers of my parents, and soon I had a little cake business running from home. I was making probably 1 cake order a week while also being in school and volunteering. Then on Valentine's Day of 2018, so 4 years ago today, Rachel hired me to work part-time, and I've been there ever since. So yeah, then I continued on with my orders at home and got better at decorating cakes. I even made my own little logo and business cards. Oh, in this clip, I was doing emails and writing up new order forms while Rachel was still decorating cupcakes because I wasn't going to stand there and film her the entire time. So yeah, I did that to pass some of the time before I started my shift. But back to my life story. I continued to make cakes at home and at work for the next couple years and slowly just improved. I made cakes for my friends' birthdays and my family and just random cakes here and there. And I continued with my cake orders as well. When I was in grade 11, I did a program where I got to go to college early for the first half of the school year and learn about baking. So I did that for 6 months and got my first baking certificate. Also, this clip is not sped up. Rachel's just that fast at making these cupcakes and it's literally insane. So my college course ended in February 2020 and I had about a month where I was back in high school and I got to see my friends before the whole world went into chaos with COVID. Look at all the Valentine's Day cupcakes on the trays. It's literally my favorite sight. Like, have you ever seen anything more beautiful than this? The Valentine's cupcakes were now finished and ready to be packaged into these boxes of 6, which was done by Rachel's mom, Eva, who works in the bakery full-time, and she's just the coolest. In the back, Rachel was starting to work on the cupcakes for the showcases. These cupcakes were for customers to just walk in and buy. We usually put out a couple hundred of the regular sized cupcakes every day, a mix of filled cupcakes and unfilled cupcakes, and about 100 or so mini cupcakes for the customers to buy. Today we were putting out a lot more. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was around 600, including the mini cupcakes, which as you can see, Rachel has all lined up, ready to be decorated. And of course, everything today had to get Valentine sprinkles or a little heart on top. When it was 9, I clocked in and then got started on making some buttercream since Rachel was using all of it for the cupcakes. And then I got myself set up to start decorating some cakes. After decorating cakes for like 4 years now, I've gotten pretty speedy at it, I would say. And I've also picked up a few tricks here and there. For example, skipping the crumb coat like I'm doing here with this cake. Rachel started doing it first about a year and a half ago maybe, and then I tried it and oh my god, it is so much faster. Literally saves so much time, and I have now learned to do it with American buttercream, which I'm using here, and Swiss meringue buttercream. I have a tutorial up if you guys want to check that out and learn how to skip the crumb coat yourself. Once this cake was masked, I piped the border and then melted some chocolate chips with a bit of oil and did a chocolate drip. Then it got white swirls of buttercream on top, rainbow sprinkles, and cherries to finish it off. This is one of our signature cakes at HappyCakes called Get Cherried Away. This one is another signature cake called Serving Up Sprinkles. It's usually blue, but we do customizations. And then this signature cake is called Grandma's Garden. It's one of my favorites because the rosettes on top are so pretty. The next cake was a custom order, and it was your basic rosette cake iced in red buttercream. Fun fact, rosette cakes are one of my least favorites to make, just because I've made them so many times now that I'm kind of over it, but also I feel like this design has had its time and now we need to move on. While I continued with the cakes, Rachel was still decorating cupcakes. She literally has not stopped since 6:30 in the morning. She continued to make all the fantastic flavors for our showcase and was putting them out on these big trays with little labels as she made them. We put out approximately 30 different flavors every day, so each one has a little tag that describes what's inside the cupcake and what flavor of buttercream is on top. While this was happening, I was still making buttercream, finishing cake orders, and then I started making to-go cakes for the front. These cakes were also available for customers to walk in and buy. I made some of the cakes Valentine's themed specifically, but I also made some regular birthday cakes because there's still birthdays on Valentine's Day. And just when you thought Rachel was done with cupcakes, she still had these pre-orders to make. She also made some custom Valentine's themed cupcakes for the showcase, and she made backstock. Lots and lots of backstock. And everything was finally ready just before 12 o'clock. We had cakes in the to-go cake fridge, our showcase was loaded, and we had all of the Valentine's pre-orders boxed and ready for pickup. Throughout the day, we were super busy in the front with customers coming in to buy cupcakes or pick up their orders. I made some more to-go cakes and actually had to make more red velvet cupcakes at 12:30 because we had already sold out. The phone was ringing non-stop. I made a huge mess. Around 4:30, Rachel was back to making cupcakes because we had sold out and ran out of back stock. And it was just go, go, go all day. I forgot to film lots. We closed at 6 o'clock and then had a ginormous mess to clean up. But we did it, and then the shop was all clean and ready for the next day. In the end, we sold just over 800 regular-sized cupcakes and over 250 mini cupcakes, which is absolutely insane. I hope you all enjoyed this video on what Valentine's Day looks like in the bakery, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me as well. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to leave a comment and like down below. Bye!